The VERU, a lot of people want an update on the VERU, technically speaking. I'll do an update on the VERU right now. Let me see, actually. A lot of interesting stuff. The news came out on VERU today. Actually, good news came out as they talked to the FDA. They got the okay for their trial, one and a half trial. There was some, things that they had to file, and everything was accepted, and they have to go ahead to do these trials. So the FDA is on board, and basically it was a good report. Stock did not move on that. Not that much interest in it, but there was a seller in this recently that was concerning and kept on hitting the stock around that what was that, 190 to $190 to $2 area. And today on the chat boards, in the stock twits, there was one of them on Seeking Alpha on some of the comments. There's a couple bears out there that put a post out there, put a tweet, put whatever they put out there, talking about the OPCO, or the pharmaceutical stock that got OPK that got halted about 4 days ago, and that was Frost. What was his name? Philip Frost, and the stock pumpers that involved in that, and the whole thing was halted, and there's criminal investigation going on, and stock manipulation, and all this. And it was a pharmaceutical company, a drug company, oncology company, very similar. So there was a 6 degrees of separation, I like to call it. Steiner, CEO of VERU, was an associate of Frost back in the day when he was an oncologist for OPK. He worked for OPK. Since left, years ago, left it. I don't know what the time frame is, but it's multiple years. Left it, went on to start his own company, female health company, or VERU, and then again did the deal with ASCO, merged the two, became an oncology or female health now, and that was, that's what they are now. But through association, because he once worked for OPCO, the attackers came out, the bears came out, or whatever, the shorters came out and said, this guy had a relationship with him, and this is going to affect VERU stock. So there was panic in VERU today. There was panic because of this, and it dropped. It dropped hard. Look at that drop. All right, but look at that return, and it was a crazy day. I was digging out the information as we were going. All of it was false. There was just people just bashing the stock for some reason about this thing, and it was all BS. It was really BS, and that's what happens. On these liquid stocks, these cheaper stocks, they could go both directions. You could pump them, but you could also pump them down too. You could actually manipulate them. Now, what's the reason of the manipulation? Was it a short seller that got in a couple days before and then triggered the selling, or was it someone who wanted to accumulate stock because they know good news is coming down the pipe? I think it's manipulation to the downside. I think someone's accumulating this stock. There was some decent volume at the end of the day, and it basically closed down 2 cents. Ended up picking up some more today at 170. Had some people that picked it up in the 150s. People here at Day Trading Radio, I saw come by saying I picked up 155, 158. So a lot of people picked it up down here. But again, I was a deer in the headlights at that point. I'm like, you just don't know. Who's telling the truth anymore. So I was, when you see the selling, you're like, well, what if there is bad news? What if there is an association? And through our research and through our connections, knowing the story, it is not that way. It's just BS that's being posted just to manipulate the stock. So maybe that was shown the way it came back at the last few minutes. They kind of just ripped this thing right back up. Left a huge candle. Now, this happened back in May. They drove this stock down to 140. Same price level. Same people came out on the chat boards, came out with some negative comments and scared the stock out. It reversed, closed, back up. Not 100%. But back up in the next few days, consolidated and drove higher to its highs. So again, manipulation. Why? Maybe someone was trying to accumulate shares here, and then they ran it. Same thing, same posters out there, same bearish or manipulators. See, another reason I think they could be manipulating the stock and not just fully trying to short the stock is because they're so obviously, bashing it. They're bashing it and coming out saying, I'm a bear on the stock, instead of just making an opinion. And when people hang out on these boards, it's also troubling. It's just like these people, the only ones that really hang out and really do things on these things are the people who try to manipulate the stock. And then you have to somehow defend it. If the information's wrong, how do you defend it? You have to go back. You have to go on there and kind of defend it on the thing. Anyway, it was good news. The news is good. The trials are going forward. The relationship between this guy, Philip Frost, and Steiner was a professional relationship back in the day when he was an oncologist. That's what he does. Oncologist for their company, and then left and did his own thing. There hasn't been anything between them since. That's just a false story, and there was never any proof or any linkage to that. So the market got scared, and it shows that there was an opportunity. If you took that opportunity, I'm very curious to see how the day is going to play out tomorrow. I really am. Volume is huge candlestick. I mean, what if we see this thing run? And this is funny because last couple of weeks I put out a post just talking about the technical nature of the stock. And when you have a technical nature of a stock like that, and you break down, what does this give you right here? I am live, someone. What does this give you? Do you see that the stochastics didn't even budge on that rotation down? And what's the strongest divergence there is one where it doesn't even move the momentum indicator. The stochastics are important because they're measuring. Well, it just. I'm not going to go into a whole class on stochastics, but it's comparing the price, each candle's price compared, how in a relationship where it closes towards the highs or the lows. And even the last 2 days, it hasn't even budged the stochastics here. That's huge for me. That's huge because you had a little pullback here and it turned it right over. Here you had huge pullback, huge, and yet it continued to point higher out of that original divergence. So where are we looking for this thing tomorrow? Up and away. Up and away. I mean, if this continues to move up from this, then it just proves that it was just, stock manipulation. What are you going to do? Just happen to be in something I'm in, you might be in. It happens. Hell, it happens. I've seen it happen in big stocks. Philip Morris was manipulated this morning. You would think that all hell was breaking loose. It kind of gapped down and then ripped 4 or 5 points higher. So that's where we are on that one. That's the VERU update, and we're going to look for that to run tomorrow. I'm excited to be in this one now. Even though I picked up some more shares at 170, I didn't pick it up at 150. Man, I would have been dancing in the streets today if I did. But how can you? You don't know. Excuse me. So that's getting down to the V section of my portfolio, as you can tell. Underneath that, I have WDC. Now WDC here, nice move today. Bada bing, bada boom. WDC here and STK, both of these STX. Both of these we're gonna file under the same ones, and this is very potential for follow through tomorrow. Western Digital, I expect some, probably, I don't know, what should I say, activist investor interest in this. Someone is going to stir things up on this. They're going to have a nice position down here, and they're gonna stare this and talk about breaking up, whatever. They know how to manipulate these stocks, especially the ones that were once darlings and have pulled back over 100% or half 50%. And this still has a great name. It's still a great storage device. And look at, this looks ideal for a situation like that. So I like this a lot. The STX Seagate, same thing. This is actually the daily. You can actually see this lower trend line. Big reversal candle today. Big reversal candle, pushed back up, flushed out all the lows. Didn't really turn over on the divergence. So this actually follows through on the divergence type of setup too. Just right there, right where it doesn't pull back underneath that 20 line. That breaks, so double bottom, big piercing pattern. It never really turned over. There is a gap up here, which is 51. That's like 2 points, about 2 points higher, brings us to that gap area, and probably brings it to the 20 and close to the 200 and every other moving average out there. But as you can see, even though you gap down here, you can make that run back up. It's not a bad run to make. So I like this one for tomorrow. I'd almost yeah, and that was another thing. The guy said, I have no proof. So he's kind of protecting himself. He's doing it to manipulate the market. If he didn't have proof, you're just looking for bad shit. You're looking for bad stuff, and you're throwing it out there knowing it's going to affect the market. Game is up. Yeah, exactly. It wasn't even about the zero. It was just an association. It was a Kevin Bacon 6 degrees association, or whatever that is. WDC. So I think the WDC and I think the STX have some follow through tomorrow. And that's it. That's a little update for you. I wanted to get that. It takes about half an hour to do an update like that. So tomorrow should be exciting. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks, High Flyer, for coming by today. He was buying me lunch. He bought a beautiful, ended up buying a nice sushi lunch. And I know I was stressed out this morning. All hell went loose, especially with the, I think it was the Altria. I could have actually made $400 more on that, and I was trying to get my orders in so fast. It was running so fast that I doubled down and ended up going short. And then I couldn't change anything around. It took me about 5 minutes. I paid up. I just wanted to get the hell out because I knew I made a stupid mistake, and that's how my day started. Then VERU collapsed, and then all hell broke loose. But it ended up being a good day overall, so which I'm happy about. Very, very good day. I mean, the Baba helped a lot. The Altria helped a lot. All the trades helped a lot. Everything we're holding helped counteracted everything. So now we move up here tomorrow on VERU, and we're going to be sitting pretty. All right, we'll see you in the markets tomorrow. This is DayTraderRockStar signing off for DayTradingRadio.com.